calling all educators with a passion for teaching and a health for faith. Get ready for a transformative journey with the Educators with Oil podcast, where host Ronette Branham is dedicated to helping teachers become better through biblical strategies.
Welcome to Educators with Oil podcast. I'm your hostess, Ronette Branham. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am so excited about this show tonight. We have a special guest. And then also, before we even get into that, remember to order the Educators with Oil journal. That is what's keeping me right now, is writing down, journaling, talking to God through it, talking to myself through it, planning out my day, reflecting on my day. That journal is it right now. So I'm excited to have you with us today. We're here with Francine Johnson. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we are talking about leadership. Who you are is how you lead. And that sounds like a great topic because, we think we are something that, what we portray for somebody, even though that's not even who we are. We think we're this great person in this direction, and then we're way over here. So I'm just excited about listening to this, getting into this conversation with Francine Johnson. How are you, Francine?
Hi, Renetta. Hello, everyone. I am so happy to be joining you today. I heard you speaking about journaling, and when I say journaling has been my best friend, it certainly has been my best friend. I also created my own journaling, so I love that you started with that because it really does give you the answers.
Yeah. Well, I have the Educators with Oil journal, and it's 3 journals that take you through the school year. So the first 3 months, next 3 months, and the last 4 months. And I know I have to make it so it's one book.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was going to be so thick, right? Because it's every day, 5 days a week, and the end of it, that transformation at the end, where you can see transformation for just the school year, is so exciting to me. But at the same time, journaling every day, it helps me reflect on my day. What went right? Did I have any highs, any lows, any aha moments? So that is really what I get from it, and I love it. I love journaling. I've been writing for a long time. So when you say that, I think and then you have one. So,
but I'm gonna have to get a copy
Amazon?
of yours too, because I'm here for the transformation. Okay, as leaders, we have to continue growing, glowing, and transforming. So yes, I need a copy of that one too.
Right, it's on Amazon. And then I have some. Next time we see each other, I'll bring you the set. I'll bring you the whole set. Yeah, the first 2 are exactly alike, except different scriptures, different direction for every month, right? But the last one is totally different because I wanted it to be transformational. Like I said, I wanted to see that change in us. And if we have to do it in the last 4 months quickly, even though the process is happening. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And so is yours for sale on Amazon or something?
Not yet. It is going through a beta process, but I have gotten some great feedback on it this far. And of course, as you know, my focus, my area of focus is leadership. So it's really definitely targeted towards leadership. Going through my framework, helping them to get from where they are to who they are called to be or who they desire to become.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm learning so much about leadership, and I don't even have any employees. I'm a leader in a classroom, and then this podcast. But it when you think about being a leader, it has to work with inside of you first, right? You have to get that. You have to understand. If I'm a leader, I have to lead me. I have to be able to direct myself, or before I can direct anybody else. So I don't know if I'm jumping the gun. How is this working? But that's something to think about. How is this leadership? How are we going to lead if we're not leading ourselves, or are we? If we're good at it, let's expand on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to beat us up like we're not doing right, because we are in the trenches
Yeah,
working.
definitely. When we think about, and I know there has been, conversation and theories around, are leaders born or are leaders made, right? Um, I personally believe that leaders are called, right? That's one thing. But then I also believe on the other side of it that you are a leader because you do have to lead your life, right? How we have to, once we get, mature from the 18 and we're free to be on our own, we have to lead ourselves in what job do we want to take up, right? Finishing school, finishing college. We have to talk about our finances, leading ourselves in those areas. And all of that, whether we know it or not, we're mentally constantly coaching ourselves in these process to finish, to get through, to hit that financial goal, to hit those body goals that made you have. So all of this is you internally, literally leading yourself. And I know at some points why we always get accountability partners, mentors, coaches, which is absolutely needed, because we could only lead ourselves, based off of how we think, how
Yeah.
far we think about how far we can actually go and what we can actually do, right? So yes, I do believe that we are all leaders in our own right. And then I also do believe that some of us are called into leadership positions.
Yeah. And then I heard you say you could lead with what you know, because I only could do what I know. Like right
Yes.
now, I can do the best that I can do. I could do the most that I can do. But if I don't know what comes after that, the next step, because I never saw it before, I never heard it before, then yes, you need somebody to train you. You need training, teaching. So yeah, you could like I'm called to be a teacher, no matter what. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to teach you something, right? That's my calling. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. But I cannot teach what I don't know, so I need training. So
Yeah.
that makes so much sense. Like I can learn about an iPad, but I can't teach it to you till I understand, or I have to work through it at the same time, because we'll teach a class and learn it at the same time. So, but we have to learn it from somebody. So I can appreciate that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, when I think about leadership, you mentioned something early on that was so good when you talked about sometimes we will think of ourselves as being this great person, but then we could be so far on the other side of it, right? So that is absolutely a fact. Sometimes we think so highly of ourselves, so strong, and that is great. We always want to think big of ourselves. But then there's a reality part on where are you now, right? And facing that so you can actually get to that person that you envision yourself to be, right? And then on the other side of it, you have where some people will think very low of themselves and they won't think they're qualified for what they have been called to do, when actually they are more qualified than they think they are. And then we have to deal with that, right? What does that look like? Taking off the mask, and being able to identify who are you being? Where are you now, right? What is hindering you from getting to that next place of where you feel like you're being called to or where you envision yourself, right? And that can go down a line of different things, whether it's some insecurities that you're facing, overthinking that you may be facing, imposter, whatever that may look like. There's something for everybody that is hindering them and keeping that mask on, which is keeping them where they are instead of getting them to where they see themselves.
Yeah, you made me think. I went to a retreat this weekend, and when you said that, there was a quote. Part of it was a poem, but part of it was
Mhm.
saying, trying to think exactly. It
Mhm.
was like, I can't think, but what I took from it, I'm trying to think of the exact words. But what I took from it, this quote, I'm trying to think of it exactly, but it was like, everybody hurts. Everybody has
Mhm.
hurt. Oh, everybody has hurt, and everybody has caused harm. Something like that. That was part of a poem. And
Mhm.
that stuck with me, because sometimes we look at people and we regard them so high in ourselves. We like, we did this or we did that, or we have this pain. Then we look at somebody else, they're so great. because I know there's people I'm like, you are fantastic. Everything I see, you're fantastic. Then they start speaking, and then they will say something about their insecurities, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And I think you have no insecurities, right? But we all have something. And so that makes me see, looking at somebody like, we are all the same. We are all the same. We all hurt. We all have caused harm. The same thing with what the part of the poem said. So don't feel like you're not as good as somebody else. You're not good enough, because guess what? That person is probably thinking the same thing you're thinking about yourself. They're thinking about themselves. So that's just something. It stuck with me. It like put a check mark right here, because I look at people like, I don't compare myself, but I look at people like, that girl is it. And
Mhm.
that guy, he is fantastic. And they are. But at the same time, they still have things too.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's real good. That's real good. Ooh, that is so good. There's so many
yeah.
angles I want to go on and touch on that. But the first thing that comes to my mind is, God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the unqualified, right? And
Yeah.
that is so good. And this is why I love what I do and what I've been called to do, because the work is important. So important for especially those that have been called into leadership position but are not stepping up to that throne because of the lack of confidence that they have within themselves, because they don't see themselves in the light of what somebody else may be doing, right? And how they're doing it. And you're probably not saying it subconsciously a lot of the time, but internally, you're internalizing that as, they're good, but what about you? Are you're good too, right? So that's really good. And I think with that, that goes back into one, like you said, not comparing, but as much praise that we give others, we have to give it to ourselves. We have to
Right.
back into ourselves. And that comes with that internal coaching again. One of the things that I learned, I was watching a podcast before, and one of the things that I learned, and what I'm going to start saying now, or have already started saying, when I see somebody that has something that I'm working towards, or I know that it's in me and it's a work in progress, I'll be like, I receive that.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
receive it for me too, right? Because it's like it's all mind. It's all in our mind and how we speak. The power of the tongue, how we speak things out. We have to be careful of our words and how again, going back to how we praise other and what they do, and not
Yeah.
entirely praising ourselves and what we can do, and what we're capable of doing.
Right.
So I think a lot of that has, when I see that, I always be like, I receive it. I receive that for me too. I receive that for me too.
Yeah. Because that's something, because yeah, I'm not even gonna go. That's a whole other episode right there, because I'm thinking like that internal talk, that
Yeah.
internal speech, it could it could make you and propel you to the next level. And at
Mhm.
the same time, it could take you and stop you and put you in a holding pattern, because what you're saying to yourself. And
Mhm.
I have said things, and I just said something to you. I knew I said it already today. I didn't say it out loud to somebody, but I said it within myself. Then I said it to you. It's the way, and it's like speaking things. Like I said about something that happened to me.
Mhm.
Let's call it deja vu, where it feels like this is exactly the same thing with this
Yeah.
situation. And I said it, this is how they do. And then I expect it. That's what I hear, this is what I say. And then it's nothing racial, please, people. It's nothing racial. It's about
Yeah.
a type of business, right? This is how they operate. And I said it. And so this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm receiving. So I'm getting what I'm expecting. And I know now I can't. I mean, it just is loud and clear right now.
Yeah.
So, but that is that internal talk. That internal talk. We have to upgrade our internal speech, especially if we're leaders. So I'm going to take us back to the topic.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
But if we're leaders, we have to speak a certain way. We're reading a book. It's called the book club. I can't think what it's called. I'm forget. It's something about, it has something about stupid, like something about stupid. I can't think, but it told us business is personal, but it's not emotional. And so
Mm-hmm.
we have to speak right to ourselves so we won't get into all those emotions. You get all upset and then you take it, you're emotional because of that internal speech.
Yeah.
Always. It's not even what the person did, it's how you received it.
Yeah.
So I want to go into this leadership with you. Because I could take us away someplace else.
I was, you see, I'm ready to go.
My feet are running right now. Yes, because so I want to talk about the leadership,
Yeah.
and you're talking about who we are, how we lead.
Yeah. And I think that's honestly everything that we're saying here is so related to, and I think we miss that piece. We miss that piece a lot when it comes to leadership and understanding who we are is how we lead, right? And it goes back go back to the internal conversation, right? How are we speaking to ourselves? How do we perceive the world? It also goes into, what traumas or life experience have we had that have us thinking a certain way. Oh man, that has us thinking a certain way. I'm laughing because as I just think about some of the leaders that I'm connected to, I study this, right? And I see the
Mm-hmm.
in how leaders lead. And it's beyond just the skills, because anybody can do the job these days, right?
Yeah.
Especially with AI, ChatGPT. Anybody can do the job. But can you do it efficiently enough where, you are having an impact on the people that you are trying to touch, or the people that are following you, are being impacted by the work that you're doing, right? But again, that all comes with who you are is how you lead. Because a lot of times as leaders, how we think, how we speak, how we communicate all transition into the work that we either do, how we do it, or the work that we don't do. You know,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, it's the internal talk, and then
Yeah.
we want to be the best that we can be, but we have to get it right inside first. We really do, because that's everything who we are spills over. That's why I talked about that with teachers all the time. It spills over. It really does. Your students feel it. Your energy, or whatever you want to call it, your spirit, your energy. It all ties in there together. So we have to the same way. This is what I think. The same way we talk to other people's, because I'm ready to encourage whoever,
Yeah.
um, whatever. My granddaughter told me yesterday, because I was trying to get. She said I just need somebody to talk to. She
Mm,
understood that. She said God's going. If God wants it, He's going to do it. He's going to make a way. And she's in over 14 years old, and
mm,
she's saying that to me. Like, that's the type of things I say to her, and I'm sitting there needing it. Well, I could have said that to
mm,
myself. I could have said that to myself, and
mm.
so that is so true.
Yeah.
Um,
That's good. And that, it's okay, right? We're not, the work is forever lasting. Forever lasting. It's a journey, right? And as we continue to elevate and go to new heights, oh my God, you have to go back to that foundation. I am in a season right now, and I didn't know this, right? I am in a season right now where I'm going to the next level, right? And I can see it by what's happening around me. But what I'm realizing in this season is that I am also going through another healing process. And things that I thought I healed from or was over it, it's actually taking me deeper into to deal with that root. Because what I'm realizing is what I have experienced back then in my childhood plays a part in how I lead, right? Um,
yeah,
plays a part in how I lead sometimes. And as I'm going to the next level, I am being aware of it, and I'm seeing like, okay, this has to be dealt with, right? Because the way that I'm currently leading now is not going to take me to the next level of the next impact of people that I have to make, right? So there's always a deeper level of self-work that you're going to have to do. For me, I've been doing the self-work for so long. And if I would advise leaders to just stay in the self-work, stay in the self work, because coming in and coming out, if you stay in it, you know it, you can continue to grow, glow, and go. Okay. I would say that again: grow, glow, and go. So I think the self work is very important when it comes to leadership, so that way we're able, because ideally, right, we as leaders, we want to impact, we want to change, we want to transform, we want to make sure that we are showing up for our purpose and fulfilling our purpose. But then there's a work that we have to do too. The purpose is going to be there, it awaits us,
Right.
we're called to it, but what are we doing to prepare for that, for the next level and the next level and the next level, right? So yeah, I can go
Yeah.
to. I'll let you.
No, you're hitting it. No, you're hitting it. Something that I've been learning over the past couple of years. I've been listening to Jim Rohn, and he says it probably in every speech. Don't work harder on your job than you work on yourself. Like you have to work harder on yourself. That is going to take you everywhere. Because he was like, I was a hard worker, but I wasn't working on myself. Hard working doesn't take you to the next level, no matter what you're trying to do. But working on yourself, we could think that we are. When I was 16, I thought I was grown. I was it. I knew I was an adult, right? I knew it. You couldn't tell me I wasn't grown. 17, I was an adult. I just was that, and I was so immature. You look at some things you thought back then, like you couldn't tell me anything because I knew I was it. I was grown. I was an adult. I was making waves. If I was making waves, I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And I thought I was that. I had an aunt who she couldn't stand me and my niece to come, right? To come her way because she couldn't tell us anything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
She couldn't
yeah.
tell us anything. And we would laugh. She'll say something. She'll introduce a new word to us, and we're laughing like she made it up.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then we come back and we go look it up because we were at that too. And like, oh yeah, that's a word, right? Use it right too, like that. And it's so funny because you're gonna always evolve, gonna always grow. And so I just like from last year to this year, you're somebody different. And so yeah, that's
good.
exciting.
And I like what you and Ronette, let me find out, you thought you was grown accidentally.
Well, that's what I
It's all right, Ron. It's all right.
I was a mom. See, I had.
Oh, got you. Okay, that makes sense.
Mom. Yeah,
Got you. That makes sense. But one of the things that what you said with Jim Rohn, right? How he had to work harder on himself than he did his business. And that's why, again, going back, I'm just, as I'm speaking to you and everyone on here, I'm seeing more of the work that I've been called to. One of the things what I'm realizing as I have coached a lot of leaders is that, okay, let me stop exaggerating. Enough leaders this far, right? We always tend to skip the being to the doing.
Yeah.
Then when we're ready to go to a new height in our life, get to the next level, and we're trying to break through that shattered glass, we found ourselves going back to the being. What is blocking us from getting to that next level? Why can't we surpass that next level that we're trying to get to? Whether it's financially, whether it's in our business with the number of people we're trying to impact, whether it's in our relationships, whatever that looks like, we tend to have troubles getting to that next level. And then we find ourselves having to go right back to the being. And this is why I highly enforce people to stay in the self work, because we can do all day long, right? We're used to doing. But if the doing does not progress us, then who are we being? Because the being is the real work, right? That's where the real impact happens. That's where real doors and opportunity can open up before your skills can actually be applied. Right. And it's what we believe about ourselves in the being that will either keep us where we at or get us to that next level. Right. So when I say, who are you being? Are you showing up being this bold, powerful, authoritative person that you're called to be? Or are you still showing up in some level of lack and some level of low confidence? Are you still praying, but then you're waiting, but you're not moving with action that aligns with your faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we still moving with a scarcity mindset? Are we still moving in low vibration, 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Sometimes we think we can, sometimes we think we can't, right? Are we still leaning on God as crutches and not stepping up to what you already know in your spirit that you have been called to do, to be, right? These are the things that kind of keep us moving 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, or staying at a standstill of where we are instead of getting to the next level because we're not holding that stronghold onto our confidence, onto our power, onto our authority, right? So that's why I think the being part is always going to be the most important part of a leadership work, right? It's be, do, have, not do, be, have. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you talking to me. That's all right though, right? But no, you don't understand. A few weeks ago, I tried to use this. I tried to use. I don't get nervous when I come on here, right?
Yeah.
But a few weeks ago, just say a month ago, right? I started trying to use these teleprompters that was connected to my computer. Or because I had one that was up and I was reading and I was kept looking up, right? Then I'm on my iPad down here looking down and I'm trying to look towards the camera. So I couldn't read it. And I forgot really what I was saying. And I got nervous. I was like, one time I came on here and there was a whole lot of people on here. I got nervous. Like, what am I doing? Right? What is this? Right. And I was like, you gotta bring it. You got all the training. We have the coaches. Good. We have the coaches that say, when you take the opportunity, you got to bring it. You don't have time to get nervous. All of a sudden, you don't know what you're saying. And it was so crazy. How did I go backwards? Because what you said, I didn't grab hold of it and stay in it. I didn't stay in it. I just got nervous because there was people watching me. Then I couldn't read what I was trying to say. And then I was like, oh, Lord, wait. Like, it was crazy. How did I go backwards? So I threw away the teleprompter. So we're not doing that anymore, right?
Yeah.
But if I do it right, I'll do it right. But it just was like, I got nervous. How did I get back to that place of lack where, oh my God, I'm not who I'm supposed to be right now? What is happening here? People are watching me. And it just was crazy. It didn't even make sense to me. How did I go backwards? But sometimes we have to go back and just be and stand strong in it. I'm talking about, that's called lack.
Yeah.
Walking in lack when I didn't know who I was like, bring it. You know what you're about to talk about? You know the whole subject. Like, there's nothing. You wrote it. Right? This is what you're living. And I don't know. It just was crazy. I'm never doing that again. I learned from ET. He's like, that fear. Where did that fear come from? What are you talking about? Right. I didn't give it to you, so why you want it? That kind of stuff.
That's good.
But yeah, you say, I know you talk to me.
And I appreciate you sharing that and just being transparent because, when things like that happen, I know in the midst of it and even after it, you kind of feel low, right? It makes you also feel like, dang, like, can I really do this? Like, is this really me? Like, you deal with all those kind of self-doubts. But what I love with what you said is I ain't never doing that again, right? And sometimes these things like that has to happen for us to break through, right?
Yeah.
We want it to be as simple as the self-work to be as simple as journaling every night, praying, drinking our water, right? And minding our business. But no, that's not the self-work. Sometimes when we're trying to break through, and build that confidence, build patience, build kindness, get to our that level of power and authority, right? And boldness. God has to put us through different paths, right? Through different trials and tribulations and challenges sometimes for us to break through, because that's where the real work happens, right? That's where the real work happens. But the good thing is when you are doing that self-work, you can prepare, right? That's all we can do. We prepare and then we leave the rest up to the Lord. That's it. But when you're doing the self-work in your own space, you can prepare as much as possible. Things are going to be what it's going to be. But those who are prepared are better suited to get over the hump like you are, because you're still here doing this, versus those that are not equipped. And then it takes either 3 months, 5, 6, 1, 2, 7, 10 years before they get back aligned with where you were supposed to be. But because you got
Yeah.
in that space of whatever it may have looked like, whatever, it could be fear, it could be, you know, humiliation, shame, embarrassment, whatever it is, you let that take over you. You kind of gave up, right? So I think that I love that you have actually I honestly love hearing people who go through the trials and tribulation and make it through. I love
you
it.
want some more trial tribulations? No, I'm just saying. No, well, because you know I'm working. Everybody anybody who watches me know I'm working on a conference,
Yeah.
and I knew. People always say you have to be now the person who can do that,
Yes.
right? You have to be that person now, and so this is working me for real in my classroom, in my life. I take care of my mom, and I'm going through. There's people who talk about taking care of their parents, and when I first started, I was like, "This ain't it. What did I do to deserve this? I don't want to. This is hard." And then I one day I was just like, "Why is this?" Okay, there's some form of people are not prepared. They don't have the money because you could pay somebody, but still, somebody's got to do it. And it was like, this is the circle of life. This is nobody's. This is nobody's fault. This is nobody's. You did this. You deserve this. You lived that terrible of a life. This is so. I had to learn that. I had to learn that in the midst of cleaning somebody up. Like this is what it is. This is a circle of life. The parent take care of you, and you take care of your parent. If that's that's how we do it. I don't know how other people you can pay somebody, but this is what it is. So this is me transforming in these months, in these months, as the time I'm planning for something that I have to be, because I can't go into that and I'm cranky and all upset about my life right now.
Right.
Like, how do you live like that? And so that, I like this.
That's good. That's good, right? When you can acknowledge where you are is helping you to get to where you are going. It kind of makes it that much easier to kind of stick in it, right? To stick in the trenches despite what you're going through. And that's what I think is very important. Going back to what I said about, I think we're all leaders in our own right, because at some point you do have to lead your life. But then back to where people are called to lead in certain spaces, and why it's very important to find your area of purpose, where you're supposed to be. Because when you do go through these trials, tribulations, and these storms that feel like, oh man, am I going to get through this? Is this ever going to end? Right? That makes you just question everything. When there will be a grace that carries you through, right? That will carry you through. So yes, aside from, again, being called, I'm not being called, being a leader in your own rights, being called, for those that are really called, follow the suits. That's what I can say. Follow those suits and stay on path, because it will not let you go. It will not let you go. It will not let you go at all.
Really, that's true. Because whatever you're called to do, you could be. I used to hear people talk about Jonah all the time, what they ran from whatever their calling was. I never could understand that, but because his was a little different to me. But you're right. It's not whatever you're called to do. It's got a hold of you. You can say or do. You can act how you want to act. It does have a hold of you. And that whether it's called into leadership or leading your own life or leading those around you, that is so true. This has a hold of me. This iPad, this other says iPad, this podcast has a hold of me. I'm questioning it this week, because I'm questioning. I'm like, and I'm not going anywhere. But I'm looking at it in a different way. What do I need to do? Let me grab hold of it. Do I need a actual board? Like somebody, we need to get together and discuss the way this is going to run, because it's me now. It's time to do something different. So that
I can see that
it has a hold of you.
I can see that. I can definitely see that you have more than what it takes to take this to the next level. And maybe you're right about what you just said, right? Is now building a team to really make this more sufficient. And don't miss the time. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
The time. And even with, you talking about the conference, maybe you're jumping into something else too soon, right? So those things we got to be mindful of too, because sometimes we are exactly where we need to be and doing exactly what we need to do, as leaders called to that space. And we want to go do other things because of the challenges and whatever the case may be. So yeah, I just wanted to hear you.
But that's true, because it comes from, I want to just say, it comes from the conference. It comes from what I do and what I need.
Yeah.
So you can't find what you need, so be what you need. That's where that comes from, right? You can't find you. I see educators walking around here, Christian educators walking around here. We get into these rooms with everybody, and then we get in these conversations with everybody, and we're talking the same way. And so we go to these professional development workshops, and we're frowning, talking, we're leaving with nothing. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. We are the ones who are called. We are the light. We can't get into have the same no hope as everybody else. So how could we have no hope? We have hope, so we need to get together and we need to talk about this hope that we have, this joy that we're supposed to be bringing. So that's how it came. And then it's just what I go to. I'm a teacher. We always having professional development workshops, and I'm leaving with nothing. Like, this makes no sense. But then I get into conversations, like I said, we get into conversations and everybody's complaining, oh, it's me. And what? That's not even the conversation we're supposed to be having. We're supposed to be teaching people, because I tell people, well, what you gonna do now? Right. This is the problem, and what you gonna do? Right. You gotta do something. So that's me. So if I say be that, do that. It doesn't
say that again. Be
yes.
Be that. It's be exactly.
So that's I said all that to say that's where it came from. That's what's in me. And so whether it's fast or slow or on time or not on time, it's in me. It's in me. I can't do nothing about it. So maybe I need a team, a real team. I think this is what my problem came in at, is I have to do this, and this before I call the team, because this has to be done before I call the team. No, I need a team right now because I'm stuck, right? So yeah.
Yes.
So I
come on, Netta.
we didn't make this about me, but you can't be talking to me. You can't be talking to me about me. So I have to.
It's true. What do we wait? And this goes back to everything that we're talking about and what you just said, right? Now you're starting to believe yourself for now you're getting into the mindset of what you already envision yourself in, who you are and what's in you and what you are supposed to be doing. So now you're already gaining the attitude like, okay, it's go time, right?
Yeah.
So, you are that person that you see dominating. You're her. That's why you love it. That's why you're attracted, because you're her. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. Now that you know, now you can do. It has to come first with, who are you being? What do you really believe about yourself? What do you know to be true? Being that person and enforcing it. The being is where the action comes in. I think we forget that, right? The being is where the action comes in, right? And that's where the doing comes from. Where, who are we being? How are we thinking? How are we speaking and articulating what we want, what we need, what we're not doing, and So I love it, and I'm excited. I am excited for you. I pray that you move swiftly in getting everything that you need to elevate, because I'm going, as a person who's been in education for the past 7 years as a program director, and I did not plan to be here. Okay. I'm going to tell you that right now. I did not plan to be here. I was called into this. I was in healthcare prior before. So that's how I know my work is solidified and where I'm supposed to be. But what you're speaking on and what you're trying to do, this is the time. This is the time for it. Say that.
Yeah, cause this is crazy because at first it was so easy, so smooth. I was like, oh, this is like butter, right? I thought that's the way it was gonna be the whole time because it was like butter, like for real. It when I say every speaker, every person, when I talked to the venues, it just was like, okay, go. And then I got into some situations like stuck, and it's like, what happened? So yeah, and just that self-talk, that leadership in me, that leader in me, it has to take. So you know how we have like personality traits, some are dominant and some are recessive, like our genes. And then you have to, sometimes you got to bring that recessive one up and strengthen it. And then say, okay, but you got to stand right here. When I was talking to a woman and she had all kind of, I'm going to say excuses, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I should have stood up and said, no, this is what you said. This is what it is. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was like, well, okay, all right then.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's that one personality trait that's working behind the scenes, and the other one that's that pilot, as CJ would say, that pilot needs to bring it on home right now. You know, that's what it is. So yeah, I didn't mean to take this to that. This is therapy for me right here. I didn't plan on therapy.
No, that's fine because honestly, authentic conversations like this, sometimes it's all you need. And anybody need all the, extraness sometimes.
Yeah.
Regular authentic conversation. But yeah, I'm enjoying
conversation. So you are a leadership coach, a leadership consultant. Is it coach and consultant? You coach coaches?
No. I mean, if they are a coach, is fine. But it's really, my focus area has been really targeted towards women. That's what my work has literally just been attracted. Women who are in leadership positions. Some are in leadership position at their workplace. Some desire to go higher in leadership position at their workplace. And then, a lot of them are working 9 to 5 and also have their own business that they're trying to grow. So that's where I find, a lot of, I have been able to coach a lot of people in that sector, which has been really great, really great. And I actually, this past 2 weeks, I took my framework and decided to do a leadership workshop training for my staff. And it was very thought-provoking for them. And one of the things that I learned, the commonality within them, and they are all group leaders as I oversee an after-school program, is that they lack a certain confidence in themselves that is kind of hindering them from actually stepping up and leading in their power and an authority that is already within them. So a lot about what help people, again, go from who are they being to who are they becoming, and kind of bridging that gap and knocking to, so that they can shatter that glass.
Yeah. Oh, I like that because it's so, we grew up I don't know, we grew up like going with the flow. I'm saying my people, I don't know, we go with the flow. Well, I can't go that way, so that's not meant for me. I got to go this way. Oh, because that's the easy path. Let me go that way. No, sometimes you got to knock that door down, and then we need training to do it. We need somebody to teach us. You can knock doors down. You can kick them open if you have to. And without people like you to actually come and speak that life, because you just talking to you right now, you didn't change some things right now in me where I already know I'm doing it. And then I would say, okay, let me sit back for a second. No, that's not what it is. You made me think, okay, is it time? If it's not time, then I'll let you know after I start talking. It is time. You just got to get that thing done. So it is, but we need people like you that speak life into us. Call it with coaching, call it consulting. We need somebody speaking life into us. If we don't have that, the people in our circle sometimes are not those people. So we have to watch who is in our circle, and you have to have coaches and consultants and mentors and all that.
Absolutely. I totally 1,000% believe it. And I have had my fair share, I will be transparent as well, is running away from the assignment and not believing that I was good enough. And here's why. I know why. because from young, I grew up in a household where I didn't have the leadership that I needed. I didn't have the discipline, the teaching, things like that I needed for a person who has a big personality, right? I'll say that. So I found myself always seeking outwards. Now, my family did a great job in providing, right? The roof, the food, the clothes, and that's as far as it went. And it only went that far because of what their upbringing has been, right? So you can only teach a person as far as they have come, okay?
Yeah.
There. And that goes back to us leaders. When you want to break through to make more impact on others, you can only lead a crowd as far as you have come in your own expert, in your own knowledge, in your own thinking, your way of communicating. So that's why you have to continue to do the self-work. But as I backtrack, so I seeked out work for a very long time, and knowing that there was greatness in me, seek out work for mentorships and coaches and people to help and joining different communities just to try to grow, reading books, going on YouTube. I want to say this probably like 5-7 years ago started this self-development journey, and I never really got that one person or two or three that was really good. Like, you know how people come up with stories like this one person came into my life
Yeah.
and they filled that void of what they were missing. I have not had that. A lot of my growth has been through me going through the experience, going through the trenches. So it's somebody that has had to go through it, figure it out, and become the leader who she always seeked in her life. When I got to the point where I finally somewhat getting it, because we never stop getting it, we always growing.
Right.
I'm like, dang, I don't know if I can help others. I don't know if I'm good enough, because I feel like because I didn't have somebody there pouring into me, is my information, is my experience enough? Is it enough? But it is
Yeah.
enough, because I only went through what I went through because I'm called to do what I'm called to do. If he
Right.
wanted to send me a helper long ago, he would have sent me a helper. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed to go through the trenches over and over and over again in different aspects of my life, so that way I can touch multiple people at along my journey. So that's another thing that I want to say to the listeners. Like, don't be discouraged by what you've been through that makes you feel like you're not qualified, because again, he will take the unqualified to make them qualified for the position.
Right. You remind me of Paul. When Paul said, I didn't seek anybody, I went to myself. He talked, he went away. He didn't go looking for a leader. He went away and learned and was trained on his own. And then he was able to preach to his people, who he was able to speak to, the Romans, the Gentiles, who he was able to speak to. But he said, I sought nobody. I didn't, because he didn't have that. Because the Jews were not accepted. They didn't, the newly Christians, they weren't accepting those Jews. They weren't accepting him because he was killing the Christians. So he had to first go to himself and and learn, go away. And
I'm gonna have to go read that story. I'm still learning the Bible stories. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna go read that story for sure.
Yeah, and he wrote half the New Testament, most of the New Testament, and he was led to speak to the Gentiles because he was a Jew of Jews, as he said, and he was condemning the Christians killing people and stuff like that. But anyway, that's what that reminded me of when you said that. I know we got a lot of that's, like I said, about going through the with the flow, because a lot of training we didn't have. We didn't have a lot. I have friends who now are in finance. They didn't have that. I didn't either have that. People with that financial literacy under their belt, these people who understand finances to train us and teach us. They were paying bills. They might have did wonders with what they had, but they didn't build wealth. They didn't know how to build wealth. They knew how to live today. Make sure the bills were paid. As they used to say when I was a kid, robbing Peter to pay Paul, that kind of stuff. So that is a lot of things that we're learning now. We have to make quantum leaps, and we need people like you to teach us okay, this is what you need to do. You want to lead, you have to lead yourself. And I don't know if you have pillars that you talk about. If you talk about finance, if you talk about, we only have a couple more, not that many more minutes, 10 at the most. So do you talk about your framework really fast if you want to. Like, is there like pillars that you work on, or is it like,
Oh
a
yeah,
circle?
my framework is all about the being. I really focus on the individual and themselves, getting from where they are to who they are called to be. And within my framework there are 5 pillars, right? We go through the unmasked, releasing, um, owning, aligning, and then multiplying, right? And again, it's all about you, unmasking who you are being, right? Where you are, releasing what no longer serves you, letting that go, and then owning the truth, owning your truth and what we know to be truth, aligning with your purpose, and then multiplying it in the area of where you're called to lead. And what I have found in a lot of people that I coach, oh, we break barriers on this side. Whew, we've been breaking barriers. I have, thankfully, everyone that who has I've have worked with this far and who has stuck to the coaching plans have had success in their breakthroughs. And with me, I know a lot with my work, we always pick an area of focus or a goal, and a lot. So for us to also analyze what we're doing and measure what we're doing, it's getting you from point A to point B in whatever goal you're going through. And in that, we're going through whatever needs to be, worked through within you to help you to get to that next level. Because ideally, a lot of people have come to me because they're stuck. They feel stuck. They want to get to their next level where they are, but their hands is up, right? I've done what I can do. I need help. And they come through, we get through the next level, and that's it. I'm not, I do not gatekeep nothing. I work with my clients, and I really see how they move along to get to that next level. So yeah, I'm really excited about this work, and I'm excited, just being on here with you to just really start doing more, because I think it's time. Just like you.
Yeah, it is. No, if you can come on here and you could help me in 30 minutes, yeah, I think it was before 30 minutes. I think by 10 minutes I was good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. So if you can do that, and that's your gift, because it could take, I've been on somebody's couch and I went there, had to go back and go back, and I left with nothing. And I'm like, this is I need another therapist because this is not working. It's like, okay, yes, you're doing right. You're doing right. No, give me something else. Give me something to work with. You're telling me I'm writing my feelings. I'm writing this. I already know that, right? I need more than that because I'm not moving. And
Right.
so
Right.
that, to come in here in 10 minutes and help me and others, of course, that is amazing. That's a gift. So I appreciate you for that. And how can we find you? Because I didn't type it in there.
That's okay.
I
So
didn't type it. Do you have a website or Facebook or anything?
yes, so my Facebook is going to be my name, Francine Johnson. Instagram is going to be she's invested underscore. My website is she'sinvested.co. And soon I'll be putting together a YouTube channel that's in the work. But yeah, it's been
She's invested is what? Is from where?
she's invested.
Huh?
Which one you asking for? My Instagram?
She's invested. That's Instagram.
Yeah, underscore.
She's invested underscore.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm putting that in here. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna put it up here, but I'm gonna put it in the comments and on YouTube also.
This was fun. I enjoyed
Yeah.
being here.
Yeah. This was fun. I'm glad. I'm glad that you came. I'm glad that you
Yeah.
accepted my offer. Because
Yes.
sometimes I don't know. Like I don't know who to ask. I know a lot of people. Should I
Yeah.
ask them? but I'm glad that you said yes, because like I said, you helped me in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
First, you kind of discouraged me at first. Then I had to speak through it, and then I'm like, nah, she ain't getting me right. Because I had to think, like, is this
Yeah.
really what I should be doing? Because I could not be, or it could be, could not be, could be not the right time. It could be. You have to work through it, and so I appreciate you. I really do. Um, any last words? We have educators. This is for mostly educators, but other people watch who are not educators, and so give us something to go home with and work with, and we're gonna write in our journals about.
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing I want to say is trust your process. Trust your process wherever you are, no matter what that looks like. Everything is being used for you. As long as you're in alignment, everything is being used for you and where you are going. And then I want to say for something to start journaling in right away, ask yourself, who am I being? How am I showing up? Do I like the way that I'm thinking? Am I showing up in my full authentic self? Is this, and then on the other side, I want you to write down, who am I becoming? Right? Who do you see yourself as, and who am I becoming? And then wherever you see a gap between who you're really being, and in order to do this work, you got to be real with yourself. You got to be real with yourself. You got to be honest and authentic. If you know you're showing up with low confidence, then write that. And if you know who you're becoming for the work that you're called to do is require somebody to have high confidence, then write that. And then you got to figure out what is holding me back from being confident in what I'm doing. Do I not believe in myself enough? Right? Is it something that somebody had told me a long time ago that I'm still holding on to? And that's the reason I'm not believing. So this work just require you to get real with yourself. Who am I being? Who am I becoming? And what do I need to let go of?
Yeah, thank you. And that is true. I always want to add something, and I shouldn't do that, right? Because I want to comment on it. That's true. That's what is taking me through right now. I need to be this person to do this thing. You just This person who I am right now is not capable of doing that thing over there. So I have to be the person who can handle that, who can work that through. So that is it. That's a word right there. That's a word. And I thank you. We took it to the top of the hour. That was fast. We took it to the top of the hour. It's about 7 o'clock. We got a couple 3 minutes before the hour. So again, Francine, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you. This
Yes.
has been wonderful. We got to bring you back. We got to bring you
Yes,
back.
I would love to come back. I'm
We
excited.
have,
Thank you for having me.
yeah, we have I just call it uh, we have a doctor, Dr. Akia. Cause she's been on here a few times, Dr. Akia Keith. So she's our resident doctor. And
Nice.
now we're
Nice.
gonna have to have a resident consultant,
Yes.
resident coach,
Yes.
because we need that. We need that every so many months. We got to come
Mhm.
back, and somebody's teaching us this aspect of leadership.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm not keep on talking because I don't want to go past 6 o'clock,
Okay. Okay.
because
All right.
people like that's enough, right?
Yes.
But
All right.
yeah, we're gonna have to bring you back because we're gonna need some more
Absolutely.
leadership skills. Cause
I'm here when you're ready. Thank you so much.
okay,
All right.
thank you.
Take
So
care.
don't go anywhere.
Oh, I don't hang up. Oh.
Subscribe to Educators with Oil podcast on your preferred platform and join Ronette on this mission to empower teachers through the wisdom of the Bible. Because when biblical strategies meet the classroom, extraordinary teaching happens.
Educators, let's shine a light on our classrooms. See you on Educators with Oil podcast, where teaching and faith unite.